All right, man. Let's talk about Zach LaVine possibly going to Detroit Pistons. I had this in my queue because I usually, when I ain't feeling confident and overconfident, I usually write things down. I had this wrote down in my notes. I did on my phone. I had it in my notes. I erased it for some reason, probably Russian or whatever. But I got to be American. I can't be Russian. All right, get it. But yeah, man, talk about Zach LaVine going to the Detroit Pistons. First and foremost, make sure you thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, check out Detroit Pistons Talk playlist. Check out my new channel, Free Game 89, FR33 Game 89. The links in the link tree in the description. Check out my main channel, Goodfella TV. That links in the link tree in the description as well too. Make sure you check out the link tree. Find me everywhere. All right. So first thing first is this for real. The Chicago Bulls trading the Zach LaVine within the division, within the conference, let alone, like I said, the division is going to cost. By law, they got to bump up the cost. Right? So in a reality, you looking at what Chicago needs, and I'm gonna talk about what Zach LaVine would need, right? So what Chicago would need, obviously, is gonna be Cade or Ivy. Got to be involved. You're gonna probably say Ivy, probably Bojanovic. What else we got in there? What else they got out there? That may be the main two guys I could think of right now. All right, I don't think they would need a Wiseman or Bagley right now. But those two would be the main guys. All right. And then they probably would want to host the future first-round draft picks. Now, for Zach LaVine, I think it'd be wise for him to go somewhere where his talents can be displayed, where the world can see them, where he's going to win. But do those teams have the firepower? Now, if you're talking about him going to an up-and-coming team that's on the uptrend and they can probably do something, then you probably thinking about Orlando. But once again, Orlando got a plethora of guards. Now, they trade LaVine, then DeMar DeRozan is surely to be behind him, right? But they would probably, need one of those point guards from Orlando, and obviously some. All right, that's probably one of the teams he want to go. Maybe the Knicks can make a play for him. I doubt Miami will make a play for him. I think Philadelphia will be a good spot for him and Maxey, but maybe they kind of want more of a 3-and-D guy next to Maxey. He really getting jiggy with it out there. So I would think those would be the main spots. I'm trying to think of somebody else. I think Houston cool what they got. Maybe, the Pelicans could do something to acquire him, but they got a lot to figure out anyway. So, maybe Denver can make a play for him. I know what they like what they got right now. Maybe Denver could put a play in for him. That'd be interesting. Get him another killer in the backcourt that can go get a bucket. But maybe Denver looking to upgrade. But nonetheless, he's from the Northwest too, so Portland ain't doing too good right now. But anyway, I just think as far as the fit in Detroit, he can handle the ball, he can score, he can go get a bucket. Obviously they're missing that in the starting lineup. We ain't really seen Bojanovic do something. He don't really commit on the defensive end of the floor, and I think that's kind of messed up. That's kind of not what you want. But then again, you got a Short Thompson who gonna defend at the 3 spot. LaVine give you a good shooter. Take some pressure off of Cade. I think they'll mesh pretty well. So LaVine, Duran, Short, and then at the end of the day, they just got to find somebody that can play that 4 spot. Do they have enough firepower to take some picks and try to get a guy like Lauri Markkanen? That'd be interesting. But I honestly, I think continuing to mix Cade with different players and stuff of that nature, I'm not sure that's 100% the answer. To be honest, I'm not sure that's 100% the answer. I think we need to see what it look like with what they got, Jaden Ivey, Bojanovic, and some of that nature. And I think if they do add a guard in the backcourt, I think it got to be a traditional point guard and allow Cade to probably move off the ball a little bit, move to the 2, and probably trying to find a traditional point guard. Obviously, you would love to have a 6'5", 6'6" point guard like Tyrese Halliburton or something like that, but I think they would need to find more of a traditional point guard. And them guys hard to find. So I don't know if you can find that around the league, but I think if they're going to acquire a guard, it's got to be a traditional point guard. So I'm trying to really think, like, where can you find one of those guys? There ain't too many around there. You know what I'm saying? You know, what if, Memphis washed their hand at Ja Morant, obviously, I don't care what he been through at that point. If I get my hands on Ja Morant, I'm probably going to do it. But he's a ways from coming around, and Denver really struggling right now. So, yeah, they need to find a way to get a traditional point guard if they're going to get any type of guard. But it's hard to say, well, let's see if Zach LaVine can fit. Obviously, he's an established player. He's an established scorer. He's been on some bad basketball teams, Minnesota, Chicago, unbelievable talent. But I do think the best thing for him is to probably go to a team that's going to be competing for a championship. And if that's, Boston, not Boston, we wouldn't go to Boston. If that's Philadelphia or Denver or something like that, I think that's best for him. Coming to Detroit is kind of like a lateral move a little bit, stepping back a little bit behind Chicago. So I think, and then for the Pistons, you keep mixing and matching guys, next to Cade Cunningham. And I think the best thing to do, is to see what you got. Maybe, 5 to 10 game stretch, you put Jaden Ivey in there and you see what you got with Ivey and Cade. If that don't work, 5 to 10 game stretch, you see what you got in Marcus Sasser. And then, I think if none of that works, you add Bojanovic and none of that worked, then I think you try to go out there and find a traditional point guard, and that's probably going to be hard to find in the draft and free agency out there today. I mean, would you want to rent Chris Paul for a season after what he do in Golden State? I don't know. If Golden State get rid of Draymond, you want Draymond to come and be the point forward? Those are all questions that, kind of far out in veteran options that you may have. But then again, you probably got to monitor what they doing in Phoenix, because right now Bradley Beal is out for the next 3 months with a back injury. So that's something to think about for a minute. So he's out for the next 3 months with a back injury. So yeah, I think that's something to think about real quick. But honestly, I don't think adding another aggressive scoring guard to the backcourt. I think first and foremost, they need to see what they got with the other guards that they got on the team: Monty Morris, Marcus Sasser next to Cade, Jaden Ivey, and whoever else is there. And then I think the next move, if that don't work, is going to get a traditional lead point guard if you can find that. So I don't think LaVine's a fit, and LaVine's one of my favorite players in the league. Damian Lillard's my favorite player in the league, and LaVine not too far behind him. I'm a huge Zach LaVine fan. So we'll see what happens. I don't think it's a fit, and I think it's going to cost entirely too much to trade him within the division. I think he deserves to go somewhere where he can compete and win, him and DeMar DeRozan. So check out Detroit Pistons Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and the subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit the link tree. Find me on Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, the whole 9. Link tree is the first link in the description. Find me everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, the whole 9. Appreciate the love and support. Like I said, check out my new channel, Free Game 89, FR33 Game 89. That link is in the link tree and it's in the description. And also, in addition to that, check out my main channel, Goodfella TV. The link's in the link tree and in the description. Peace.